ready, come on, have a seat next to me, and we're gonna kick things off on the show. We have a few viewers watching already, so that's gonna be
I do have
fun.
some questions.
Awesome.
I mean, you're supposed to ask me questions, but
Yep.
I've got questions.
Okay, good. Yep. Well, we'll see how that runs.
Okay. and is Liam Schubel here just to make sure everything that gets said gets posted online right away? Is that
Yes.
the story?
Yeah. He'll have it posted on. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll have it posted on the internet before we even announce it.
I'm really glad to be here with you.
Awesome. Yeah. We're loving having a Mile High. We're loving being out here too, Danny.
Well, I'm actually really glad to be here with you because I saw lots of pictures of you in the woods with Liam Schubel, and I was not sure if we would get to see you again.
Yeah.
There was a lot of wildlife.
There was definitely a lot
And
of wildlife.
I'm not talking about the elk. I'm talking about the
okay.
Jersey natives that were in Colorado.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we were pretty wild.
If I could just interrupt for a second.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
Danny,
knew you
when
would.
When I was checking in today,
It didn't
or
last
last night,
3
I was
minutes.
checking into the hotel, and the guy said, credit card and driver's license, and he took a look at the credit card. He took a look at me. I had a cowboy hat on. He goes, "You don't look like somebody from New Jersey." Thank you. That's all.
That's so funny.
And then the other question that I have is, do we have any cannolis?
Oh, we
yes.
do have cannolis. You
Do
know
we have
what?
cannolis?
I left them in the room.
If you want me, I'll bring him down so we get this.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, because-
we brought them all the way from New Jersey just for you, Danny.
Good, because you notice that, Colorado, so I have Voss water.
Right.
Because we hydrate here. We don't
Yes.
have cannolis, instead we have Voss water.
Oh my goodness, I had to drink so much water this weekend. It was incredible. Even this morning down at breakfast, I said, just leave the pitcher. Okay, so guys, you can see it's already begun. IFCO-TV live from Mile High out here in Boulder, Colorado. We have Danny Knowles, special host for the whole weekend, and guests on the show today. We have a great show lined up for you. We have quite a few guests right now, Danny, but I just want to get right into it. Why did you start Mile High? What was like the impetus or your thoughts behind creating Mile High?
Well, one of the things I think many chiropractors know is that there's different types of stress.
Mm-hmm.
And there's stress that you can use as fuel to grow, right?
Right.
And I think I just built up enough fuel
Oh, right.
of frustration with the way chiropractic is in this region of the country. Because here's the story. I came out to Colorado. I was the first graduate allowed from Sherman College to be in Colorado in something like 20 years.
Wow.
Because at the time, Sherman College was not a CCE school, and Colorado is one of those states that was only a CC, not a CC or equivalent state. So I was the first one because Sherman had gotten CC, and we had Part 4 and so on, and I had I had a community that I was connected with in the Northeast and the Southeast and around Sherman College of people that were like-minded in terms of chiropractic, and there was not a lot of that here.
Right.
And I discovered that very quickly through many different reasons. I just got enough frustration that really chiropractic had become such an allopathic profession. And I'm not talking a little bit allopathic, I'm talking a lot.
Right. Yeah.
And so it was very frustrating practicing in that environment. And I knew there were other like-minded chiropractors in the area that were off in their little cubby holes. And when they're off in their little cubby holes, they're not necessarily making a big impact together. And enough frustration built up around that over a number of things going on over the 15 plus years that I've been in this area that said, you know what, chiropractors that are dedicated to the vitalistic mindset and philosophical principles in as the foundation of chiropractic need a home in this region of the country. And it was so sad when you think, like, if you really think back in the history of chiropractic, if you go to the center of the country, now I'm from New York, so I really don't know my way around outside the 5 boroughs.
Right.
So, like, sometimes I say states are here. and I have no idea where they really are, because I know where the Bronx is,
Yeah.
I know where Brooklyn is, but beyond, I mean, New Jersey's kind of not even real. It's, you know, because it's. Isn't the tax on
That's
clothing
it.
different in
No more
Jersey?
cannolis.
Right?
What's
Isn't
that?
the tax different? In
Yeah,
Jersey?
there's.
Right, that's
Yeah,
all
no
I know about
clothing
New
and
Jersey,
food.
because
Yeah.
when I was a kid, we would go to shopping in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone comes over to New Jersey to go shopping.
That was the only reason to go. There was nothing else there worthwhile. So.
Yeah.
But so, you know, but if you think of the history of chiropractic, obviously somewhere near Colorado is Iowa, right?
Okay, yeah.
And somewhere near Colorado is Wisconsin.
Right.
So you have the Palmers, you have Gonstead. Also in Wisconsin was Toughness. You had people that were incredible leaders in chiropractic historically, and then it became really more the center of the allopathic foundation of chiropractic. And I think it's time to have a rising up of practitioners that are dedicated to the foundation of chiropractic to have a place that they can gather.
Right. Guys, we're on the show with Dr. Daniel Knowles from Boulder, Colorado, and we're a Mile High weekend. If you can ask us any questions you might have, just hit them up in the chat box. We're watching the chat box right now, and we're also going to be chit-chatting with a few more guests later on. But Danny, a couple more questions.
Yeah.
So challenges you see not only here in Colorado, but worldwide for chiropractic, what would they be?
Well, here's what I think is going on in chiropractic, and I've said this for a few years. I really feel that the chiropractic profession is on the eve of a renaissance of thought. And actually, Simon Senzon just published an article, I think, on the similar topic, or similar title line, because chiropractic got severely lost as the insurance age advanced, and practitioners went towards having an insurance-based practice, and the educational system then changed so that people would have to get the education needed to get their licensure to bill insurance, and that whole paradigm really brought us, I think, into an allopathic and therapy dark ages for our profession. And I feel like we're on the renaissance of coming out of that, because a lot of the stuff that you see, the things of chiropractors wanting to do injections and wanting to have prescribe and wanting to do vaccinations of all things, and things that just in essence are against the foundational underpinnings of our thought process of being a chiropractor. They're really that whole area of the profession's last dying breath, because insurance is going away, and it's like they're just reaching for straws for anything that they can bill for or go for, and they're going to drown. And the thing that's going to be left is using your hands to adjust people, and people paying cash for services only, if not predominantly. And that means teaching people about what chiropractic is, delivering the goods, and sharing the chiropractic story. And those practitioners that don't have any clue how to do that are now trying to look for ways to expand the scope, because they need some way to get an income coming in. So it's like that's a problem, but it's also really, to me, a sign of it's like just the paradigm's dying.
Right. Guys at home, we're live, so if you can share this on all your social platforms, the website or the link that you want to share on your platform is www.ifcochiro.org/live, and we're on live with Dr. Daniel Knowles. And Dan, the reason why IFCO-TV was created, this is a pretty interesting story. We were in...
just to watch me eating cannolis?
Just to watch Danny eat cannolis, and that was it.
Sure.
Yeah. In fact, Danny was our first guest on the show ever, so a little trivia right there, back last year. And so we were in...
arrested shortly
afterwards. And so here's what happened. We were trying to figure out a way to bring more chiropractic into people's lives, and especially for the folks who can't make it to a seminar such as this event. Maybe they can't afford it, or maybe they're overseas or somewhere in the country where they just can't get here easily.
Right.
And so we figured out a way to create this and make it happen with the new technology. And so you guys at home can have more chiropractic in your lives. And that's the main reason why IFCO-TV was created.
I think it's brilliant, and you've
Yeah.
done a great job.
Oh, thank
it's
you.
the CNN of chiropractic.
Nice, excellent. That is awesome. But so share with us, what's Mile High have to do with IFCO? How are they related a bit?
Well, in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
chiropractic. I come from a chiropractic family. I'm a second-generation chiropractor. My only introduction to chiropractic prior to going to chiropractic school was the concept that you are delivering chiropractic to reduce correct spinal subluxations, because doing that improves spinal neural integrity, and that in and of itself is a benefit for the person, regardless if they have any conditions, no conditions. Just because they're a human being and they're alive, they're better off without subluxations and nerve system functioning better. That's my understanding of chiropractic before I went to chiropractic school.
Right.
And I've never thought of chiropractic as anything else than that. And to me, before I was in chiropractic school, the FSCO, I went to many FSCO events as a pre-chiropractic triune seminars. My dad was on the FSCO at that time, board for a while.
Right. Donnie
and-
Epstein. We're going
right.
to have him on the show tomorrow.
Right,
Yep.
and so I knew the FSCO then, and then it became the IFCO. To me, that is what chiropractic stands for. It's the only international organization that represents solely chiropractic purely.
Right.
And that needs to exist and thrive. And to me, that's what Mile High is. Mile High, for me, is aligned with Sherman College and with the IFCO.
Right, nice. For the students at home, there's DCs and students watching the show, and I know you're a graduate from Sherman College, as I am. Why do you think it's important for chiropractors now to get involved in referring students to a vitalistic type of school, even if it's not Sherman College, or giving back to the schools?
Well, the world needs more chiropractors.
Right.
That's the small thinking. I remember when I came to Colorado, I came to Boulder, and there were people that were mentors of mine, and I was going to be opening up my office, and they said, "Oh, don't come to Boulder. There's too many chiropractors. Don't come
Right.
here. There's one chiropractor for every 1,000 people. You'll never succeed," and all of these kinds of things. And I mean, some of those chiropractors are now not practicing, and we're doing very well.
Yeah.
But the point is, there's not a glut of chiropractors by any means. There's a shortage of chiropractors, especially of chiropractors that can adjust people. I mean, I'll tell you, I don't want to focus on this by any means, but I also teach some technique and adjusting programs, and every year the ability for people to analyze a spine is less. What I see, people that are new grads, they know less and less about foundational chiropractic techniques. That's scary, because I don't know what they're doing in practice and what they're learning in school. So I think it's vital. One, we do need more chiropractors. Chiropractic schools enrollment is down about half of what it was 20 years ago. So if we're going to be changing the world, we have this world-changing vision, you can't do it when your school enrollment's in half. You have to have more people go to chiropractic school. Number two, we need to have more people go to chiropractic schools so they actually learn chiropractic.
Right.
So, it's really, I mean, I remember, man, do you sound old when you say "I remember"? Does it
Yeah.
make you sound like the Pepperidge Farm guy?
I remember back in the day.
But when I went to chiropractic school, at that time I had no idea that Sherman College was going to get CC. It wasn't in the cards by any means. It was, you can go to 12 states, and they were not the ones that my family lived in, but I knew that was where I was going to get the best chiropractic education. I did not choose to go to a chiropractic school based on its location. I said, where am I going to get the best chiropractic education? That's where I want to go.
Right.
I mean, you look at higher education, there are people that choose, for example, to go to Harvard, not because of its location, not that I have anything against Massachusetts, even though I'm from New York, so I kind of do. But, but there are people that choose to go to Harvard because it's, because of the educational institution it is. Sherman College is the Harvard of chiropractic. And it's at a bargain, because it's a lower tuition than most of the schools that you don't even get chiropractic in.
Right.
which is which just boggles your mind. So you could pay more money and get less chiropractic.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of like going to a chiropractor that charges the insurance up for thousands of dollars and you don't get adjusted.
Yeah.
It's all the same thing.
The students at home, we're having a blast out here. Chiropractic, it's just a great life. And we get to have all kinds of fun, all kinds of ways to give back also. And you've given back a lot just with this. You've done a lot. You're on the board at Sherman, created Sherman Connect Call, Mile High. I know it's going great. It's probably exceeded even last year.
Yeah,
right?
It has. It's grown about 40% since last year's attendance.
Wow. Now we have, I want to go over like a couple of the high points that are here this weekend.
Okay.
But I know later on tonight you have a panel for the students to ask quite a few of us questions. I know I'm on the panel, so that's why I know about it. But can you share with other folks, what's the highlights going on?
For the whole weekend?
Yeah, a quick summary of the highlights.
Okay, so I was very strategic about how I put this together because I wanted to do a couple things. One, I wanted to offer the continuing education that's needed in this area of the country.
Right.
So on Friday, when a lot of people that may be out of state are flying in, we have CPR and record keeping because this part of the country requires that for their licensure. And you know what? As much as subluxation-oriented chiropractors may not want to pay attention to record keeping, you really need to do good record keeping so you can be compliant with your state boards, as is the law currently. So it's a good thing to be knowledgeable about for sure. And I've seen that, and being involved with state boards. So number one, we have that. Then we also have 8 hours of continuing education throughout the program. And here's why I did that. I've been here for 15 years, and you get postcard after postcard in the mail of continuing education programs, and they're really exciting. You can get an elbow exam, you can learn how to do Department of Transportation physicals, and how to get handicap license, give out handicap parking tickets. I know Jack Borla, part of him being here, we could get a handicap parking ticket parking thing for him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for him to be able to park.
Oh, good, all right.
Yeah, because I know he can't walk so far.
By the way, this just in, he just landed at Denver Airport, so he'll be
Nice.
here
Jack,
shortly.
Well, we'll have
Jack
the oxygen
Burla.
ready for him.
Yeah.
But you need to have those things, sports, physicals. There was never a continuing education thing on chiropractic. So I said, well, I'm going to put 8 hours of CE that's actually chiropractic material.
Right.
So, for example, Peter Kevorkian is a master in terms of teaching pediatrics, and so we have 2 hours of pediatric chiropractic program with him on continuing education. So there's that sprinkled through the program. Then we have Friday night, there's philosophy sessions. Jeannie Ohm's doing a CE session on pediatrics. We have a question and answer program, which we are so lucky to have you as part of. And what happened was we have a lot of students coming here because we're kind of central to a number of chiropractic schools that are in driving distance. So we have like 40 or 50 students coming, which is amazing, something like that.
We have quite a few students coming on the show tomorrow, too. Yeah.
Oh, good, good. So somebody suggested we should have a question and answer panel because students want to know what to do, especially since they didn't learn chiropractic in chiropractic school. So they want to know what to do when they get out,
Right.
So we have people that were not speakers on the program being able to give and share, because I think that's part of what has to happen in chiropractic now is we have to mentor others. We have to have events like this so we can mentor others. So that way students can have a place, and we have pizza for them and question and answer session.
Pizza
can go
for the
as
panel
long.
too?
No, just cannolis.
Just cannolis, I got them.
And then, while that's going on, there'll probably be some doctors hanging out socially. And we have people bring their whole teams here. On Saturday, we have a 2-hour team training session. We made it so that I really feel that chiropractic is best practiced with a team. I think that chiropractors get into the area of being the rugged individualist and trying to do everything themselves, and they really do better when they focus on what they do best and they have a team. So Heidi Farrell's doing a 2-hour team program, and I made it really inexpensive so that it was $97 to bring your whole team.
Oh, wow.
And, for 3 people, because I think you should not leave your team at home. You should bring them to chiropractic. So, because every time we've had big growth in our office, it was because we took our team to multiple programs, and they got more
Totally agree with
on
that.
purpose.
Yeah.
So we have 2 hours of that. We have a speakers banquet for all the speakers, and it's going to benefit Sherman College. Proceeds from people buying tickets to that, because if they want to, if they really want to pay to have lunch with Liam Schubel, they can, and that money will go to Sherman College.
Yeah, so you're giving quite a bit to Sherman too.
Well,
right?
yeah, so that's gonna, so
Awesome.
so that will go. Anything proceeds from that, because will go to that. Then we also have a party Saturday night.
Right, nice.
Okay, because we made sure Liam has from 8:30 to 8:32.
Nice.
So
Speaking.
then after
Yes.
that we have the party.
It's been his best 2 minutes ever.
And then what we did was we wanted to continue the continuing education part on Sunday. So we have Saturdays more of the philosophy sessions, more
Right.
high energy.
Nice.
Sunday tends to be a little mellower for people. And CLA just offered, I didn't even have the idea, I thought it was a brilliant idea. They said they wanted to have a CE Sunday breakfast. So
Wow.
they offered to have like a breakfast spread, like coffee and danishes and things like that, like healthy versions. And so we could have a more mellow CE Sunday morning,
Right.
For a couple hours after all the rambunctiousness Saturday night.
Yes, nice. That's awesome. Wow, it's a jam-packed weekend for chiropractic.
And I'm probably forgetting 4 other things.
Probably, but those are great highlights. And now what happens is people that are here are going to experience that. Now more people need to come next year, because when they come, they're going to see and get involved in all of these events. And it's just going to be a blast. I can't wait for the rest of the weekend. I know I'm going to be here for 2 hours hosting the show and having fun here, but I really can't wait to get to Mile High and experience what you just talked
I
about.
am excited.
Yeah. Guys, okay, so we're finishing up with Dr. Daniel Knowles. We have a few guests on.
I don't leave until you get cannolis.
Yeah. Liam's going to have to run downstairs because I'm not leaving my post. Yeah, but we have some folks on the show right now,
Hey,
watching, listening.
I do want to say something else.
Oh,
I
go right ahead.
really want to thank the IFCO for not just the people speaking, but also having the IFCO-TV here, because it makes it a more central event.
Yeah.
And it brings more attention to it.
Absolutely.
And I want the IFCO's mission, purpose, and values to be highlighted in this part of the country, because it hasn't been.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So here's a couple folks from around the different parts of the country who are watching at the moment.
All right, I'm going to take my Voss water and I'm
Go.
going to
No, stay right here for a moment.
I'm staying,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
staying?
So
Oh, okay.
Dave Steinberg.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Is he
Connecticut.
here?
Yep. He says to say hello, so you can say a little shout out.
Can I
to
tell
him.
you something about Dave Steinberg that's
Yeah.
amazing that most people don't know?
By the way, just a note, and you might want to mention, he's on the Sherman Connect call, I believe.
Dave
Or is it
Steinberg.
Is it Dave or Bruce?
No,
I'm not sure.
Dave Steinberg is on the Sherman Connect call on Monday.
Right. Yes, he is.
Yes,
Thank you for watching,
which
Dave.
is another one of my brilliant things.
Absolutely.
But in
Yeah,
addition,
you know what? I hosted last week.
in addition, I heard something else about Dave Steinberg, which is I heard that he writes everything that Mark Swerdlet does.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. we have Will Winton from Georgia,
All right.
fellow classmate of Jack Burla.
Awesome.
Yes. Yep. So he says hello.
It's the original Palmer class.
Yeah. Don't worry, guys. At home, Liam Schubel's up next. You can make all the comments you want. We have Sonia Dennis from Parker, Dallas,
All right.
Texas. She's on the show watching. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys, for watching so far. And there's quite a few others. But Dan, thanks so much for stopping by the
Thank
show.
you.
Great luck with the whole program this weekend.
you.
And I'm sure I'll see you
Thank
around.
you. Thank
Get
you
back to
very
all
much.
your guests.
All right, I'll
Yep.
see you later.
Thanks.
All right.
Guys, that was Dr. Daniel Knowles. A great conversation always with him. And up next, don't go anywhere. We have the big deal. Liam Schubel is on the show next.